Welcome to another episode of everything you wanted to know about 7 Days to Die. A little explanation about this video is I actually recorded it as video number 3 for the series, but my file got corrupted when I sent it to YouTube and there was no video and just sound, so I deleted it and I tried to set everything up so it was like it was after video 2, but since I didn't have the video to go by, I could only work for the sound. A lot of it I'm guessing, and if I take and I repeat stuff that's in the other videos, I apologize for that. Next thing I want to talk about is on the forums and everything for 7 Days to Die, and also for the Steam forums for 7 Days to Die. There's a lot of complaints about not having the options to take and play the game that you want to play. The options are here in the settings where you can take and make it any way you want to make it for the zombies. All the way from disabled, which you've seen me playing here, which is 0 zombies, nothing, no zombies ever spawn. So we get to run around and look at things and do what we want to do, and the zombies aren't interrupting us, all the way to very high at 150%. So you can play the game any way you want to play. And while I'm on that subject, the goal of this video isn't to take and tell you how to play 7 Days to Die. The goal of the video is just to take and show you what's available and how everything works, and you decide how you want to play the game. If you don't want any zombies, that's fine. I mean, if I cared how you played the game, I wouldn't be showing you the cheat mode and guide mode and how to use the creative menu and all that. You can play the game any way that you want to play it. Also, it probably isn't going to fit in with today's theme of cooking and foraging, but I wanted to go back and show you about the yucca fruit and explain a little bit to you about your health bar and your stamina bar and your fullness and hydration bar. And like I was telling you, the desert is a great place as far as survival. It sucks as far as building a base there, because sand is the easiest thing for the zombies to take and dig through. So while I'm talking here, I'm going to eat these yucca fruit just so you can see how it has an effect on your stamina and hydration and health. And as you can see, my stamina bar is going up as I eat the yucca fruit. That's one of the benefits of it. My hydration is going up, the one with the little water drop on it. And slowly the fullness bar is taken. I have started with a full stack of yucca fruit here. And we'll just take and see how many yucca fruit it takes to fill everything back up to full. Also, if you'll notice while I'm eating, my health bar, the one with the plus sign on it all the way to the left, isn't moving. But your health will regenerate over time without doing anything. We'll get into that a little bit later after I can take and get jars to take and make the aloe cream and Red Cross bandages, so I can explain to you the difference about healing with the different things that's available in the game, which is basically pain pills, the Red Cross bandages, which are both heal over time. So I got 40 yucca fruit left, so it took me 24 yucca fruit to go from completely no stamina, no hydration, and no fullness back to full again. Okay, back on to the real reason that we're doing today's video. The real reason is for cooking and foraging, And in video 2, we already had made our campfire and our forge. So I'm just going to lay them down, just so you know, for in the real game, you can take and lay these down anytime you want to. You don't have to have a base or anything else. The big thing is when you get to the point where you have the materials that you need to take and use these, then lay them down, make what you need, and then when you get a base and everything, you can take and make a new forge and make a new campfire and all that. We'll start with the campfire. And you have basically 4 sections. This is going to be your recipe section. This is going to be what the output of your cooking is going to be. This is the cookware that you're going to use, and this is the fuel that you're going to use. For cooking has an actual timer that's in real time, not game time. And what you want to do is match your fuel time to your cook time to take and make things. We'll take and get into that a lot more because I really want to get into the recipe part, because if you go to your cooking and food section, you'll notice it tells you how to make campfires, corn seeds, potato seeds, murky water, cooking grill, cooking pot, yucca juice, and blueberry seeds. But there's no recipes there to tell you how to cook stuff. So I've taken and gone to the creative menu and got these items so that we can go over a couple of the recipes and show you what it takes to make what. But before I can do that, I have to come up with a jar so we can get water, and because you'll need water to cook with. So, saying that, the first thing that we'll really be doing is starting with the forge. And same thing, 4 sections, what your output is. Here is a mold. You have to have a mold to take and use the forge. When you put your mold in, this is what resource you're going to need to take and make this output. And then again, we have a fuel source. Well, to make molds, first one I'm going to want is iron, and these are lumps of clay. And to get lumps of clay, we got 2 choices. I can use cornmeal and water, or I can use clay that I get from the ground. Right over here, I've already found a source of clay, but there's other sources. Clay's all around you. It's just the clay along the riverbanks, and clay on cliffs, like I showed you where I died, is the easiest to find because this red dirt sticks out from everything else. Another thing about the riverbanks, if you look on your map, dirt is a real dark gray color. Clay will show up on your map is a light brown color. So even if you've already walked by it, like we were over here before, well, there's a deposit of clay right there on the riverbank so that you know right where to go. Also, while I have my map open, you see these little lines coming off from my arrow. Well, what that is that's about the food that I have in my inventory, that it says that I'm carrying something that smells and attracts zombies. Well, it tells you in the tooltip what the range is in meters and everything, but most people don't really understand what a meter is in the game and on the map. So to help you out, they put these little lines. I have it in my backpack, and it's saying this is how far away where you see these lines going to, that a zombie can take and smell the food in my backpack. Okay, first thing we're going to have to do is take and get some clay. So I'm going to go over here and use my stone axe and get us some clay so we can make molds. And if you'll look at my health bar over on the far left, it's taking and regenerating health, even though I haven't taken anything to take and help my health out. Okay, this is what the clay looks like when you get it from the ground. To make lumps of clay, take and put it in the center square of your crafting panel, and it's telling me that 2 clay from the ground will make 18 lumps of clay. And for the iron mold that I wanted to make, it's going to take 5 of those lumps. So now I have a mold. I put the mold in there. It's saying I need iron, and there's several sources that you can take and get from iron. You can take and get it from iron fragments. You can take and get it from scrap iron. If you remember before, I told you these girders you find in the industrial biome can be used to make iron. And you'll get 1 ingot just from 1 girder. And scrap metal block. The last resource that you can use to take and get iron is iron ore that you remember I was showing you along the sides of the cliff. There was a iron deposit there that we could have got, and that'll make you 2 ingots for every iron ore you got. Because of the way that the furnace works and everything, it's best to take and turn all your stuff into scrap iron. Like our tin cans will turn into scrap iron. And just to show you, 1 won't take and make 1 scrap iron. 2 does make 1. So we want 2 tin cans for every scrap iron that we're going to make. I went around and busted up boulders and picked up the aged wood, and I don't remember if I cut the trees on another video or if I cut them off camera, but I have other resources already that I went and gathered off camera, and mainly I did that by busting up boulders. Like this boulder right here. Boulder, like the boulder I just showed you. When you bust up a boulder, you'll get small stones, you'll get iron fragments, you'll get lumps of coal, and you'll get potassium nitrate powder. So I want to take and turn my iron fragments into scrap iron so I can use that in the forge. Well, 1 won't make a scrap iron, 2 will. So it's just like the cans. I need 2 fragments of iron to make a scrap iron. So I want to get 1 of these so it's an even number. So that's going to make me 89 scrap iron. And my scrap metal block from the girder, that'll make scrap iron, and that makes 6 scrap iron. Okay, I think we're actually ready to go make and forge something. Okay, the first big thing is this capacity right here is how many pounds you need to make 1 iron ingot. So when I put this in here, I want to put an amount that's divisible by 3, because that'll take and give me an even number of ingots. And what'll happen if you put an odd number that isn't divisible by 3, you'll have a partial ingot here, and as soon as you take this iron mold out, you lose everything. So it's best if you take and make it divisible by 3 so it comes out even. Put it all in there. Well, actually, that worked out, because 54 is divisible by 3, because I'll get 18 ingots out of 108 scrap iron. But the big thing is the capacity is it's 3 pounds of iron to get 1 iron ingot. I'm putting 54 pounds in, so that'll take and give me 18 ingots. Now the next thing is I need fuel for it, and as I put fuel in, saying I got 53 pounds, but I got 3 minutes of burn time here, so the two don't really correlate. The rule of thumb that I use when taking it is I try to double whatever this is, because basically a minute is 60 seconds, and when you figure it that away with the pounds and everything, it usually works out pretty close. And you can use different sources of fuel. You just have to put it in one of the different blocks there. So I have 47 pounds, and I'm running it for about 8 minutes. So we'll just let that run while I go and look for a jar, because I'm going to need a jar to take and make the jar mold. I need an empty jar so I can make the jar mold to make more jars, so I can take and make water to do our cooking part with. So I'm going to run off and see if I can find an empty jar. Well, there's some more. And like I was telling you before, when you're looting and stuff like that, if you use the R key to take all, you hit this R key to take all, it makes noise that the zombies can hear. Did you hear that? To take and not, oh, there's some jars. To take and not make any noise, what you want to do is actually, you can take and click on it and move it, or you can do like I was telling you about, take shift and just click it, and it automatically moves it to your inventory. I'm not going to worry about picking up the clubs or the clothes, because that's going to be a whole separate video about armor and a separate video about weapons, so I'm just going to leave that stuff here for right now. But we got our empty jars that we need now to take and make a mold, so I'm going to do that. And for the jar mold, 5 clay, 1 empty jar. Now I can craft an empty jar mold. Now we can take and make jars as soon as our iron's finished over there. While I'm on it, this empty cooler, you can take and bust these coolers up. There's also some green lockers you'll find in some of these, and you can bust them up. And when you finally got a base where you got a place to put stuff, you can take and take these empty coolers or the lockers and put them in your base. On multiplayer servers right now, I say that because Alpha 10 is going to soon come out, but right now they will take and spawn loot, whatever your loot timer's set for. On the single player servers, I haven't been able to take and get them to spawn loot. I've tested a bunch of things. I think it's the sleeping bag that affects it, but I'm not sure. The big thing is it doesn't take and spawn loot in single player. But you can take and pick it up and place it wherever you want in your base, just like that. And you have a cooler that you can take and use for storage or whatever you want. If you're using it in the multiplayer where it does take and respawn loot, then you don't want to put anything in this so that you get loot whenever it takes and respawns. Okay, let's see what we got. I got 15 ingots. Okay, and as soon as you make your first ingots, it's decision time, because you got to decide what tools you want to take and make. Tools is underneath this tool icon here, and we can make a fire axe, which takes 2 ingots. We can make a pickaxe, which takes 4. Shovel, we can make a shovel that takes 4. So there's 10 ingots out of my 15 already that we'll have to take and use to make the tools. So it's saying I need sticks for all of them, and the way you make sticks is with wood planks. So we got sticks, we got the iron ingots. I'm going to make a fire axe. I'm going to make a pickaxe. And I'm going to make a shovel. And that's your 3 basic tools that replace the stone axe. Your pickaxe is used for mostly for metal, but it's also used for mining, for things like stone and stuff like that. The shovel's used for, like, when I was getting my gravel, if I wanted to take and get sand, digging up dirt for your gardening, stuff like that. This is the best tool for that. And your fire axe is for anything that's wood. And I also use it for, like, when I'm clearing out a place to make a base, getting rid of all the garbage bags and things like that. So, like, for getting that cooler, the pickaxe would have been the best tool. Now we'll do a little demonstration to show you why you want these tools Actually, to tell you the truth, I probably need to make a chest so I can put some of this stuff away. So I got room. Well, I'll get rid of the bullet casings because I can't make bullets right now. This will turn into scrap iron. And in all honesty, this is something that you're going to end up doing anyway. It's called inventory management, and you're going to have to take, and reason I'm putting sand in here because I want to get the crushed sand, because you use crushed sand to make the glass jars. You can also use these glass panes to make glass jars, or you can take and use them to make windows when you're building. But my main deal is I want to take and make some room here, because I'm going to need room as I go through and demonstrate other things to you. So to do that, we need the secure storage chest, and you need 6 planks to build one of those. And I'll put the stuff in here that I'm not going to be using. Feathers I'm not going to cover because, like I said, I'm going to have a whole different series just for weapons and all that, and I'll have a different series. I don't need that because that's just for paper. Excuse me. I don't need these right now. And most of the time when I play nomad mode, which isn't the game difficulty, it's the a style of playing. And basically what it means is you never really make a permanent base. You're just going from one place to the next, and making temporary shelters out of existing buildings, or there's real quick temporary shelters you can make to live in, or in an emergency like on the 7th day, which I guess I haven't covered that in this whole video. What's changed since I did my basics video back in August to now is they introduced the 7th day horde, and the once every 7 days you'll get, some people call them a super horde. I believe they call them feral, and what feral means is they can detect you no matter what. The story behind it is that every 7 days all the zombies get hungry and band together and start looking for food, and basically there's nothing you can do to take and hide from them or anything like that. Also with the 7th day horde, every 7 days the strength of the horde is going to increase. So like your day 14 horde, that'll be stronger than what your day 7 horde. Your day 21 horde will be stronger than that. And it keeps going all the way till you get up to day 49. Day 49 is as strong as they get. And in the beginning, you might just have a few zombies. Normally I get anywhere from 20 to 30, but a lot of times that first 7-day horde doesn't have a lot of the special zombies like acid spitting cops or hornets or dogs. Lost my train of thought there. Anyway, the whole thing is now, as soon as you start the game and you come into the game, there's a countdown timer, and you have till midnight on the 7th day to get prepared for the 7th day horde. So unlike my basics video, There was no Seventh Day Horde. We could take months to take and build up our bases and get our defenses set and all that. And every once in a while you'd take and fight what they call a Roman horde. And now it's not like that. Now you have a countdown timer, so every minute that you take and waste on this clock up here is time you won't get back to take and prepare for that seventh day horde that's going to come. Here I'm going to do a demonstration of why you want to take and as soon as you can start making your tools. I guess before I do that I should start my glass jars so they're cooking while I'm doing all this. So I take my iron ingot out, iron mold out, put my jar mold in. Like I said, you can use the glass panes. To take and make your jars with. Something else while I'm doing this, if you have two different resources, you have to wait till this first one gets used up before you can take and put in your next resource to start making stuff again. So give me 1 sec here while it takes and uses up the glass panes to make these jars, and then I'll throw the crushed sand in to keep making some more while I'm showing you the difference on the tool. So there we go, and now we can go do the tools while it's making us some glass jars. Okay, we'll use the stone axe first on this boulder so you can see how many hits it takes to take and break it once. So it took 8 hits with the stone axe. If I use my pickaxe, it took 2 hits to take and break up the boulder. So now that I have this pickaxe, it doesn't really make sense using the stone axe. The pickaxe will take and make your life a whole lot easier. Well, let's try it on one of the iron girders and see. "17 hits with the stone axe to break the iron girder up." Now with the pickaxe, it took 5 hits to take and break the iron girder up. So as you can see with the pickaxe, it makes your life a whole lot easier collecting more iron and stuff like that. Or cutting down a tree with the stone axe. So it took me 16 hits with the stone axe to take and do the tree. Now we'll use our fire axe and see what the difference is. Eight hits with the fire axe. So already we've replaced using the stone axe at all as being a tool. The other use the stone axe as is being for repairs, right clicking with it. While I have this, I want to take and show you something else. The stone axe will take and use hardly any of your stamina while you're using it. Whereas as soon as you use one of the pickaxe, fire axe, or shovel, it'll start using a whole lot of stamina. So we'll go over here and dig up some sand or clay so you can take and see what I'm talking about. And just so you know, it works the same way with the weapons. The better the weapon is, the more stamina it's going to take and use. Now, if you're watching my stamina bar over here on the left, right here, it didn't hardly move while I was taking and using the stone axe. Now let's see what happens when I'm using the shovel. Just keep an eye here on my stamina bar while I'm using the shovel so you can see what I mean. See how the stamina bar, the shovel's taking and digging everything out a lot faster. See how fast the stamina bar is dropping now? And like I said, it'll be the same with your weapons. The better the weapon, like the best melee weapon in the game is a sledgehammer. But a sledgehammer uses a whole lot more stamina than what one of the clubs do. And like I explained to you before, if you just use your E key, it'll just pick up one. But if you hold down your E key, it takes and collects everything in the area around you. So that's the basics about our tools. Say we only got 5 ingots from what we collected and everything. The tool I'd make first is the pickaxe, because as I showed you, that makes it real easy to get these iron girders or bust up the boulders and take and get more iron. So, and once you have more iron, well, you can make more tools. So if I had to make a choice because I didn't have enough iron resources to make enough iron ingots, as soon as I got enough to make 4, which we know now it takes 6 scrap iron to make an ingot, so 4 times 6, I need at least 24 scrap iron to make a pickaxe. So as soon as I got 24, I would be looking to lay down a forge and make myself a pickaxe so that everything else is easier after that. Okay, I think that, oh no, back to our jars. And I did that to demonstrate what I was telling you. If you saw, I didn't pull my jars first. I pulled the jar mold and all my stuff disappeared. And it's laying right here on the ground in front of me. So make sure you pull the output from your forge first before you pull the mold out. Next thing is for all the jars, anything that you have, even the jars themselves, stacked to 15. The exception to that is honey that you get from the hornets, and it only stacks to 10. So I got several things that I can take and I can use these jars for. I can take and let's go to first aid. I can make aloe cream with it, and I do that by putting 1 aloe plant in an empty glass jar. And if you look at the tool tip, it's saying aloe cream will give me 10 health. Well, a better use for the aloe cream is to take and make cloth And now I can make the Red Cross bandages. It calls them bandages, but I always tell everybody the Red Cross bandage because you know that that heals you. So we'll make a Red Cross bandage. And you can see that you applied first aid, which means it heals you. And it's also a bandage, like this simple bandage, so it stops bleeding. So while I have a Red Cross bandage and pain pills, we're going to learn about the effect on health, because both of them are heal over time. They don't heal you immediately. They give you a certain percentage of health over time. And as you can see, it doesn't tell you how fast, so I'm going to take them and show you. So first, our painkillers. And then you notice you get the little icon here on the left, and it's saying that it's giving you 1/2 health every second, and that it lasts for 60 seconds. So we're going to get 30 health out of the painkillers. So now for our healing bandages. So you got first aid out of that. It lasts for 30 seconds, and you get 1 health every second. So the healing bandages also give us 30 health. So whether you got the pain pills or you got the healing bandages, both of them will give you healing. And as you can see, the healing bandages will heal you faster. Both of them are going to give you 30 health, but it takes less time for the healing bandages to do it than the painkillers do. And as you can see, that returned me to full health. Well, now that I'm at full health, you see these old sham sandwiches in all the garbage and some of the zombies you kill and stuff like that. And what the deal is on the sham sandwiches is you have a 50-50 chance every time you eat one of getting food poisoning, but it gives you 20 fullness. So if you just can't find any other source of food, you can eat these sham sandwiches, and I'll show you what happens. Every time we eat one, we got a 50-50 chance of getting food poisoning. And just my luck, I got food poisoning. And you'll notice the very first result you got from food poisoning, it started taking your stamina away. Tooltip says it lasts for 60 seconds. You're going to lose 10 stamina every second, and you're going to lose 1 health every 4 seconds. And you feel sick to your stomach, which is the animation you just heard. So you can eat the sham sandwiches, but this is the effects if you get food poisoning. You won't get food poisoning every time. Sometimes I've gone 3 or 4 sandwiches before I got it. It's just a 50-50 chance every time that you take and you eat a sham sandwich that you're going to get food poisoning for it. Same thing as this, if you drink from the river water, you got a 50-50 chance every time that you're going to get dysentery. So the sham sandwich ran its course, and I lost health, and it took away all my stamina. So that's the chance you take for eating a sham sandwich. But like I said, if that's all you can find to eat, well, that's something that's available. And as I'm sitting here, my stamina's coming back. But just to let you know, your stamina is directly related to your hydration. It won't go all the way back up to full. It'll only go as high. It's capped at whatever your hydration is. So my hydration is here, so my stamina won't go any higher than that. To take and get my stamina all the way back up to the top, I have to get my hydration all the way back up to the top. See, as my hydration is coming back up, my stamina is coming back up full. Okay, next thing is making water so we can start going over the cooking stuff. And the way to get water is you go to any source, you select your empty jar, you have your crosshairs pointed at the water, and you right click. And when you do that, you get murky water. And if you drink murky water, it's the same as drinking out of the river. You get 5 stamina, 15 hydration. You'll lose the 15 wellness, but like I told you right now, that doesn't matter. In Alpha 10, it probably will matter, since the big thing for Alpha 10 that I've been reading about is that it's all going to be about your character and like character progression and clothing, and wellness will be one of these things. And then, like I was telling you when I ate the sham sandwich, you got a 50-50 chance of getting dysentery. And you got that chance whether you drink from the river water or murky water from these jars. I'm looking for a split, because you can fill your empty jars from a toilet. And it's the same as if you took in filled it from the river. You just want to put your crosshairs on the toilet, select your empty jar, right click, and we got murky water. The exact same thing as if we took it out of the river. The reason I'm showing you this is because most of your pre-existing buildings have toilets in them. So you can use that for a ready source of water to take and make water. Okay, for us to take and make water, it's saying we need some kind of cookware. Let me go dump some of this stuff in my chest. I'll need that for food. We're done with the forge. Won't be making any more iron. Won't be making any more bottle jars. Don't care about the sham sandwich. That should give us enough room to work with. Okay, if we go to our cooking section here with the fork and the cup, what it's saying I have for cookware is a cooking pot, which I need 5 forged iron for, and a cooking grill, which I need 9 short iron pipes for. One of the things that isn't documented here that you can use to cook with is a stick. You can cook with sticks. So to make the cooking pot, I need 5 forged iron, and the way you get forged iron is from breaking down one of these iron ingots. Now I get 4 forged iron from every ingot. I needed 5, so it took 2 ingots to take and make my cooking pot. And then for the cooking grill, I needed short iron pipes. Well, you get short iron pipes from the forged iron. So now I can make a cooking grill. The other thing you can use to cook with is a beaker. I just got one of those out of the creative menu because your only two options for finding a beaker is medicine cabinets or the nurse zombies. Since I have the zombies turned off, well, it's going to be really rare that we would take and find a beaker. So I just spawned one in from the creative menu so you can take and see how all this works with the campfire. Okay, now I need some kind of cooking ware. If I put my cooking pot in, it's telling me from the ingredients I have in my inventory, I can make bottled water. And you do that with the murky water. And it's saying 4 bottled water will take me 1 minute and 20 seconds. I know my coal is 40 seconds each, so I put 3 of them in there. Now, if you'll notice, as soon as I put my fuel in, I hit the cook button, because till you hit that cook button, it's just going to keep burning your fuel and nothing's going to happen. I have to hit that cook button so that I can take and start actually cooking something, but it's going to burn this fuel the whole time whether I do anything or not. And the reason I'm telling you about this is because I've seen a lot of people put their ingredients in, put their fuel in, and then turn around and walk away, and then they come back from whatever they were doing and nothing's cooked, but their fuel's all gone. Till you hit this cook button, nothing's going to happen. And as you can see, unlike the furnace, it's time for both of these. So it correlates perfectly to tell you how much fuel you need to take and put on there. Okay, there's my 4 bottled water. Now, if you notice, as soon as I put water on there, all these different recipes started popping up. But unlike with the Forge, it doesn't tell you what you need to make any of these recipes. So what you have to do, and I'm waiting for my fire to burn out because I don't want to cook anything, I just want to show you the recipes. So it doesn't tell you anywhere, but if you use the cookware, you always have to use water. So I'm going to put 1 water in there for an ingredient. Well, my first one is corn on the cob, so I'll put corn in there with it. Now it turns green, so you know you have the right ingredients in here for the recipe for corn on the cob. Next one is, it says a boiled egg, so I'll put an egg with water. And now it's showing the icon for a boiled egg, and it turned green, so I know I have the right recipe for that. It says boiled pork, so I'll take a piece of pork and put it with water. Now that turned green, so I know I have what I need to make that. And we'll work it all the way down the line. Rabbit. Then it says rabbit stew. Well, obviously I don't have all the right ingredients in there because it didn't turn green. For rabbit stew, you need potatoes and you need corn. And now my rabbit stew is green. Venison stew. So we'll take the rabbit out, put a piece of venison. There goes my venison stew. I take the potato and the corn out, and now I have boiled venison. Okay, I'm going to boil this venison here. And then I'm going to take and use my cooking grill, my stick, for 2 more pieces of venison, so I can take and show you what the difference is as far as the benefits that you get from each of the different kinds of food. So there's my boiled venison. Now I'm going to take my cooking pot out, put a stick in, and it's saying I can make charred pork, charred rabbit, or charred venison. So I'll take and throw a venison in, so we're using the same kind of food so we can compare it. Now I'll use my cooking grill. The main thing I wanted you to see is that you can take and use a stick to cook with. So if you're still out and you haven't been able to get enough iron and everything to make your forge, to make any of this cookware, you can use a stick in the campfire. To cook with. Okay, boiled venison, giving us 5 health, 20 fullness, and -5 hydration. Charred venison, 5 health, 20 fullness, 5 hydration. So they're exactly the same. Grilled on the cooking grill, 5 health, 20 fullness, 5 hydration. So no matter how I cooked any of these, you get the exact same benefit and a -5 hydration out of it. Well, since we had to use water to make this, that makes one of these two a better choice. Like I said, if you don't have any cooking utensils at all, you can use the stick, and the charred venison gives you the exact same venison benefits as if you had to make the grill to make the charred venison with. So we're getting the exact same benefit. These two don't need water, the boiled did. And if I don't have a cooking utensil, using a stick will give me the charred venison. Anything else as far as the recipes? No. Okay. For the beaker, you can only use the beaker to make two things: antibiotics or grain alcohol. To make antibiotics, it does the same thing. It won't tell you the recipe. We need 1 moldy bread and 1 of the potassium nitrate that we got from breaking up the boulders. But if you look, it takes you 5 minutes of real time to cook up 1 of the antibiotics. And what antibiotics are used for is to cure dysentery. If you get hit by one of the zombies and get infected, the antibiotics cures that. And this is how you make antibiotics. You have to find a beaker. Like I said, the only 2 sources for a beaker is either the nurse zombies or medicine cabinets. And since I have the zombies turned off to do this demonstration, and we haven't found any buildings or anything yet, I just spawned one from the creative menu so I can show you what it takes to make the stuff. To make the grain alcohol, we'll need and I made the mistake. My inventory's full, so I can't take anything out of the creative menu. Because whatever you take out of here has to go on your tool belt. So let me take care of that problem. Okay, to make grain alcohol, you need cornmeal. To make cornmeal, it's saying I need 2 ears of corn. And you get cornmeal out of 2 ears of corn. And then the recipe for making the grain alcohol is 1 cornmeal and 1 bottled water, cooked in a beaker on the campfire. While I'm waiting for these antibiotics to cook, next thing is we should take and make a sleeping bag so that we can take and, well, I'll show you once I make one. To make a sleeping bag, we need 6 pieces of cloth. To make cloth, I used the cotton that I picked up. And now I have a sleeping bag. And what a sleeping bag does for you is it takes and it gives you a respawn point. If you look at my compass now, there's a little house on it. And what the house means is if you die, this is where you're going to come back to. Also, on your map, it takes and puts a house there so that you can take and see where your sleeping bag is at. The other thing about it is, if I was out traveling around or something, all I have to do is look at my compass and just follow the house to get back to where my base is. And that's how the sleeping bag works. The only other thing that you can make that will take and give you this spawn point and everything is called a old iron bed. And to make the old iron bed, I need 5 cloth and 5 of the short iron pipes. And you'll find this in a lot of the pre-existing buildings. So you can pick it up and use it just like you would use your sleeping bag if you happen to find a house, which I haven't found one yet. Well, not for this video, I haven't. As you know from watching number 4, yes, I already found a place, but like I said, this video got screwed up, so I had to redo it. So I'm starting all over from scratch. Once you pick up your sleeping bag, the house goes away and it's not on my compass anymore. If the zombies destroy your sleeping bag, the same thing's going to happen. And then it'll happen like it did to me before, where I ended up spawning way up here where I died at. So that's the advantages of taking and putting the sleeping bag down, is it gives you a spawn point where you know you're always going to go to. So that's what you want to put down when you get a base, or that's what you want to put down when you're in a fairly good area that you want to stay in, but your health is getting low for whatever reason. Put the sleeping bag down, and if you die, then you'll respawn right there where your sleeping bag is at. You can carry on from there. And there's our 1 antibiotic. And I'm not going to cook it up, but I'm going to show you grain alcohol. Same thing, 5 minutes to cook 1 grain alcohol. And you use grain alcohol to make first aid kits, and you use grain alcohol to make gas cans. I'm not going to cook any up because it'd be another 5 minutes we'd have to wait. Well, hold on a sec. Maybe I will cook some up. Oh, it was a waste. It says I need a simple bandage, which I have one right here. I need 1 grain alcohol, which is cooking, but I also need a blood bag. To get a blood bag, uh, the nurse zombies will have them as drops. You can find a blood draw kit in as loot, and then use the blood draw kit, taking your own blood, which also takes 1/4 of your health every time you use it, to make blood bags, to make first aid kits. But I'll just save that for another video, because we don't have any way to make the blood bags, so I can't show you how to make the first aid kit. Just know that what you need is grain alcohol, and you get the grain alcohol from bottled water and cornmeal. And I think I covered most of the recipes. Oh, the only other thing would have been some of the other molds, but we're don't have any resources yet to use any of the other molds. Uh, just so you see, all the parts you can make molds of, so you can take and make weapons, your guns and everything. But to do that, you have to read the books, and we haven't read any of the books, so we can't make the molds, so I can't do that for you either. So I think I'm going to take and cut it here, and we'll just stop with cooking and foraging. And then my next video, which would have been 5 in the series, we're going to be covering shelter and the different kinds of pre-existing shelters. And I've already spent a bunch of time going all over the map to take and find you guys all the different kinds of buildings that is in the different kinds of biomes. And we'll just spend a little time to take and see what's what. But that's going to be it for this video, so I'll see you all later.